Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Not so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Hello.
Hey, Billy.
Hi.
Hello.
Happy Friday, everybody.
God bless Friday.
Oh,
Woo!
we can't do that anymore.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah,
You
last
can't?
episode's out today. God bless football
wow.
on Metal Arc. Check it out. Subscribe, all that stuff.
Yes.
See you guys later.
Yeah. You're done with us?
Today's your last day? Thank God.
Well,
Thanks,
not yet.
Tony.
Not yet.
Not used to. I mean, Billy. No, you can stay.
I got to be surprised. I didn't expect to be sitting in this seat today.
Why? Whenever Dan's not here, I like this seat. I'm comfortable in this seat.
Yeah.
Israel sits in that seat when Dan's not here. Most people sit in that seat because I don't want to sit in that seat.
Why is that?
Because the show is the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz, and I hang off to the side like a little, like a toenail. And so here I am. This is me, like on the side of Dan's foot.
Okay.
That's just disgusting.
It is.
Yeah, last time I was on the show, Stu, you were in Dan's seat and I was in your seat.
Really?
Yeah.
Valhalla.
Yeah. So we got the text yesterday saying, "Do you want to sit in the studio with Stugotz?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I just assumed I'd be sitting in Stugotz's seat. And like 3 minutes ago, he's like, "So you're gonna sit in Dan's seat today?" I'm like, "Sure, I guess."
You're in charge, Billy. We're all just going to stare at you and
That's
see where we go next.
not great for everyone involved because the things that I have written down are side view mirrors or too advanced, learning to play hockey, worst things that you've stepped on barefoot, obscure bumper stickers.
Oh.
The rehearsal, which is everyone wants to talk about the rehearsal.
Don't forget
Stugotz,
about my favorite, Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap.
Oh, wow.
I
I have a
saw
lot of
that.
thoughts.
Don't leave out the Knicks. I mean,
We'll get there maybe. Taylor's at the game. Should we have him zoom in and tell us about it?
he did go to the game last night.
He's
He got
still
a-
there?
He is still there.
He
got
slept over.
He got a
MSG.
face value ticket, and that's a bad job out of his friend who only charged him face value. When you have gold in your hand, sell it for the price of gold, okay?
Even to friends?
I mean, yeah, that's...
Yes.
He told me how he got it, and it was like it was kind of a funny story of who got it for him and how it is that he got it. I thought it was a very nice gesture, particularly because I don't think this person is particularly close to Taylor and got him a face value ticket. If you were getting him a ticket, you would upcharge him?
If I was getting a ticket and the person that was supposed to come with me couldn't go, and I knew that ticket was worth $1,500, I'm not selling it unless it's, a brother or my best friend. I'm charging you. Absolutely, yes.
How does he know what face value is? There's not physical tickets that show you the dollar amount on it. So whatever he tells you the amount is, that's what he says the amount is, right? That's what you believe.
How about if it's a friend, you bring that friend for free so that they owe you? And for here going forward, they owe you one, and they owe you one that could be about $3,000.
That's a big OU.
It's a big IOU.
You want a big IOU in your life. You want to have one of those on lock.
But you really need to trust the friend that you're bringing.
Well, it depends on how close that friend is.
Because you put me in that spot and I make an IOU, I'm going to sit in that seat for free, enjoy the game, and never pay you back.
What is the level of an IOU for bringing someone to the Eastern Conference Finals for free? In New York, at Madison Square Garden.
Helping you move from like one
The
walk-up
Mecca.
to another walk-up, probably.
Move is a good
I
one.
like that.
I think it's killing
Like, hey, my
me.
back that's is killing me. I
brutal.
need you to
I
help
think
me
it's like
take
a
this
hit.
sofa.
Right,
Walk
and then you
over.
pay a guy and you send him
Yeah,
over,
send him
right? You send a
over,
mover
but the
over,
buddy
an actual
comes
mover.
over.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How do you play?
Hey, where's Taylor?
Hold on. Did Billy just say it's like a hit?
Yeah, he wants to kill somebody.
No, I didn't want to, but I wouldn't want to. That's why I would bring my friend to the Eastern Conference Finals.
So
I'd
that
say,
way one day,
that
keep your
favor,
hands-
we just
keep your
gotta
hands
kind of
clean.
get rid of this person a little bit. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, and I'm a little bit afraid.
Well, no, I wouldn't kill you. I wouldn't kill anyone, obviously. I would take someone to a basketball game instead.
Billy Kill.
You do that with anything that like is somewhat
Ends in
sounding
IL?
like my
I
name.
do. Yes.
You yesterday called me Billy Pill.
Right. Well, you were talking
Hey.
about drugs. I mean,
Billy Thrill.
That is true.
What were you talking about drugs for?
Well, if you check out the latest episode of Godless Football, subscribe now.
got me.
We were talking about Stephon Diggs and how a statement was made about the pink stuff that was on the boat with him, and he had pink substance on the boat with him.
What was that?
I had to go around and ask
you.
people what it was because I admitted on this show, I was like, I know this might shock a lot of people. I know you see Billy and you're like, that's a big drug guy. But I'm not a big drug guy, so I had to go around and I had to ask people what it was.
And who gave you the answer?
A surprising source, to be honest with you.
Has anyone considered that it was a gender reveal?
No.
no.
People were revealing their genders that day for sure on that boat, but it was not. I
Surprise! It's a girl.
The pink stuff makes you take your clothes off, is what you're saying?
I'm saying clothes seem to be coming off on some of those videos that we saw. Whether the pink stuff was leading to the clothes coming off or
Right.
not is anyone's, guess.
But what was it? I mean, the pink.
It's called Tusi.
What is Tusi?
If you don't know,
If you don't know, you don't know.
Well,
Is
why
that like
not
a battery size? What is
educate?
2C?
Yeah, educate.
I
everyone.
don't know anything.
No,
What's
you
there
don't
to
know
anybody?
anything.
I have no idea what's
You
going
looked
on.
it up. You're
I
making
did-
yourself sound more suspicious.
Did I look anything up? Izzy, do I have?
That's
anything
he's trying to
looked
It's
up?
a
cover
picture
you.
of you,
He has
Billy.
a
He's
live
just looking
stream.
at you.
I'm
Right.
trying to help
Yeah.
him here, and he doesn't understand that.
I think he
no.
thinks he's
you
trying
are.
to help us.
No, I
mean,
was told in my ear. I don't know. I didn't look anything up. I'm just saying.
Usually the stuff that's like either pink or purple that I hear about in songs is in like double styrofoam cups with like liquid. It's not just like spread everywhere.
Purple drank.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, he's right.
I've heard.
I think Chris Cody is stealing my unassigned parking spot, and it's a conversation that we could have had off air.
Someone's
but now
taking
that we're here-
mine.
Okay.
It's like we both like to park next to a pillar.
Yeah. So
And if
you should have parked in Dan's today. I mean,
I don't have access to this garage.
I thought you go left of the pillar.
No, so here's the thing. We have to park in a different garage, and we walk over here.
The peasant garage. I call it.
The peasant garage, yeah. Makes you wonder, how long do you work here before you're out of the peasant garage? But we're
It's
still...
19 years, I guess.
Somehow
huh?
Kristen works in.
Oh,
parks
I
in this
know.
garage.
Oh, she's in charge of assigning the parking spaces, and she gave herself the parking space.
wait, Kristen has a spot in this garage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does she really?
So does-
She's
The
gonna hate me.
Stugotz is strong in her.
So does Carmen.
Wow.
She's not even here
Who?
today. Yeah, well, that's not nice.
Yeah, come on.
No, I
they're
didn't hear
trying
the-
to hide out there.
I
the
didn't
camera
hear
will
the-
find them.
I didn't say who. Like, who is that person? I didn't hear the name that came out of your mouth.
Okay.
Who was it?
So, anywho, there's not assigned parking in that other garage, and as a result, we kind of just have like our spaces that we like, and now we all have to like change spaces because Jason steals my spot all the time too. if I'm
He's a
gonna be
back
honest
end
with
guy.
Who?
Too.
you. Yeah,
Jason's a big back end guy.
he's either eating all our food or stealing our spaces.
I hate the back end guy.
So Roy's one of those.
why do you have to back into a parking spot?
Okay.
Whoa. I'll only back in when I don't have anybody behind me.
You
I
realize
wanna
the
obstruct
time
traffic.
you're saving on the way out, you're wasting on the front end.
I love this conversation.
I will come out and I will admit I am a back end guy at times. Also, depending on the car I'm driving, I'm a back end guy.
Right.
Now, the backing in the spaces in this garage make absolutely no sense because they're angled. So it's so inconvenient to leave because you have to drive sideways against traffic. It makes no sense to back into the spaces in this garage.
I think the back end guy, though, is just, in general, that person is selfish because you have to do a 3-point turn at times to get into the spot. You are preventing other people from getting parking spots. That's what you're doing.
Which, again, I don't do when somebody's behind me.
Right.
Can I offer it is something of a safety situation? Like it's safer. Like when you're backing into a parking lot, you're good, right? Like parking spot, you're good. You're hoping there's not any people around you, whatever. When you're leaving and you don't have to back out and do all that maneuvering and you don't know if you just get to go forward and get out of there, it's a little bit easier to get out. So it's safer for everybody
Quick
around.
exit too. If you need to make a hurried exit.
Izzy's a back end guy.
all of a sudden,
You know what?
pull out,
I
you go.
used to not be a backing guy. I
He's
used
a
to be
backing
just
guy.
like you guys. But then Anthony's a former firefighter, so he used to drive the actual truck, right?
seen
Or
the
drive
light.
the little the med, the little. What is it? The
get
truck
it.
where
Rescue,
people
a
go.
rescue.
Anyway, a rescue. There it is.
The
rescue.
fire truck?
And so no, it's the little one. The little one where you take people in.
A rescue.
The ambulance?
El Rescue,
An
I guess.
Uber.
And so like he was like a big back end guy, and then I started like doing it with my side view mirrors like you're supposed to, as opposed to any of the other tricks. And I was like, this is kind of fun. It's a good way to test the brain. It's like, ooh, am I seeing things properly? Okay, I'm in.
You used to be like backing in before there were the backup cameras in every car was an art. Like you were like a great driver if you could back in without a backup
Now
camera.
it's too
just
easy.
Using mirrors. It really is. It's a cheat code. Now anyone can back in.
Why did Tony make us and put us in a getaway car?
Well, I don't mean just in case. You need to make a quick getaway.
He's not wrong.
You haul ass. I don't have to back up. Oh,
Right.
there's an old.
Okay.
Sorry. Excuse
What
me.
if I'm
Bam,
being?
bam, I gotta go.
Okay. What if I'm being chased and I need to make a quick arrival? Now I'm not going to back in because that's not the way to do it. Inefficient.
So you're getting chased, but then you want to stop the car and then get
If
out of the car?
somebody is being chased in a car and they need to park, get out and run away before the person chasing them catches them, they're not backing
But
in.
they're going to be in a car, and then you're going to be running, and then they're going to catch you in
You
the car
guys-
because they're not going to get out.
You guys ever do anything so efficiently that you're like, I think I could commit crimes and like get away with it.
What is going on with Billy?
I
Like he
think
wants to commit crimes
As
and
a
have a
drug
hitman.
addict, I mean,
No,
Billy Kill.
I wanna
I'm
peel this
not.
onion.
And Billy
I'm
Pill.
not. I admitted that I wasn't.
What have you done efficiently that you've thought you could commit crimes?
Not too long ago, I went to the ATM. I needed cash. I was giving cash to someone for something, probably my drug habit.
And you're like, no receipt.
Yeah.
I don't need a receipt.
And no. So I go and I wasn't driving. I was yeah, exactly, the pink substance. So I was going and I was dropped off at the front of the bank because we weren't going to go through the drive-thru. There was a long line. I'm like, it'll just be quicker if you drop me off. So I get dropped off at the door. Then the person that dropped me off turns around the car, and when they came back, I was already done, and I got in the car and I was like, probably gonna rob a bank. Like it was so efficient and so quick. Like if a couple more run-throughs here, and we may be able to pull something off here. You know, a heist. The problem is with the successful heist, and my co-heister, who was the driver, the getaway driver at the time, told me, said, I used to think about that as a kid. I used to think I could do that. The problem with it now, though, is now there's too many federal agencies that get involved. And now it's not like you could just go and rob a bank and then that'll be done with it. You'll get caught because you'll get cocky. You'll rob more than one bank. And now because of the federal agencies involved, it's like a big to-do. It's a whole thing. They're all going to come after you. You can't really get away with it anymore.
Yeah, the good old days. You know the best time to park in backwards or parallel park? When you've got other people in the car. You're just trying to impress them a little bit,
Unless
and you
you do it
with-
bad.
Ah, but
That's
that's
backing in does
that's
not
why you have
impress.
to have confidence in it.
No.
I'm telling you,
No.
either parallel parking or backing into a parking lot, it's the straightest thing
Just
I
know
do.
I'm not
Parallel
impressed.
parking, people are impressed. I impress my wife with that all the time when we
Yeah.
go to Chicago. No one is
People love
impressed
it.
with the person who
Yeah.
backs into a spot.
Nah, but if you do it smooth
No,
enough,
I'm in the back of your car rolling my eyes. while
Not
backing
if
in.
you're paying
Really?
attention to how smooth it is. It's 1, 2, 3, bam. We're in here. You open your eyes and you're just like, "Wait, how did we get in this spot so
I
quickly?"
was just away
I
this
don't know why your
weekend.
eyes were closed.
I'm
buddy
nudging
who
my
rented
wife.
the car. My buddy who rented the car,
This guy.
unbelievable. My friend Zach, he's just driving up. I thought, oh, he's looking for a spot. Boom, puts the car in reverse, immediately swivels into the spot behind me. I'll be honest, I was impressed.
I'm nudging my wife, being like, this guy.
And your wife secretly impressed.
Hell yeah. She's like, whoa, why did I settle for Chris? He can't back into a spot. You guys ever like try to parallel park and just give up and drive away because like
My
never
wife
mind.
has,
Not
yeah.
gonna happen.
Several times.
Nah, I'm embarrassed. I'm leaving. I don't want to see these people again.
If somebody's sitting there watching, yep,
so
I'm
many
out.
times.
Will you avoid a parking spot if you know you have to parallel park? Like you'll just find the next spot, a bigger spot.
Sometimes I'll see I'm like, oh no, too tight.
Depends
and I
on the
keep it
amount of
going.
traffic behind me, right? Like if I know that I'm good to give this 2 or 3 attempts before the next car is going to show up, then I have that leeway and I'll give it a shot, even if it's a tight space. But if I know there are cars behind me that are waiting and if I have to do this on one try, there's about a 0% chance that I'm going to attempt to parallel park.
I'm not a terrible parallel parker, but I have had the situation where I go like if it's like one too many times, then I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. Like forget about it.
And if
sometimes
there's people watching, just
Yes.
buy a new car.
Sometimes I just
never
go home.
want to.
Yeah,
I never
I'm
want to
never
be
going
seen
back.
again.
Yeah, if I'm at the beach or something, like never mind. We're gonna go 20 blocks up, and that's the situation. Today.
If you were to rob a bank, Billy, and I believe you could pull it off, who would you
Thanks.
trust most out of this crew? Who would you trust most in terms of the getaway car? Because I
Ooh,
think it's
getaway
Tony
car?
for me. Yes.
I would have Tony on my crew to be the fall guy. I think just in case.
Roy would be a great getaway driver.
Buddy, the moment they bring in a large pizza and a soda, I'm telling them exactly who planned it.
Really?
You.
Singing like a canary?
Exactly right.
Wow,
Because
I
you're
thought-
using me as the fall guy. I'm going
You
to
strike
swing
me.
it right
Well, no,
back
you
at
wouldn't know. You strike me very much as a guy that says snitches get stitches.
Zazzle
So-
said that earlier this week, I think.
What, that you would say that
No,
or that
he,
you're a
he
snitch?
said snitches get stitches.
You strike me as someone who would have that as like their mantra, maybe get it as like a tattoo on you, maiden date, like born and raised.
I think you're right. He's not a great getaway driver. He's too tall. Like getting in and out, if he has to get into the car real quick, it's not going to happen. We know Chris
Well,
is
no,
not
the guy in the
getaway
getaway
driver.
car stays in the getaway
Stays
car.
in it?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's all
Right,
right.
yeah.
Chris is not. Chris, when he drives, follows all the rules. He's like, oh, cheaters never prosper. Like that's all crazy. He can't be the driver.
Roy can lead foot Roy will get us out of here quick.
Yeah.
The problem is you can't go too fast.
You
Because then
can't.
once you escape
You
the
draw,
cops,
yeah,
you can't
attention.
draw too much attention by flying everywhere. You got to get maneuverability, right? In and out, in and out. All of a sudden, you make a right on a street, and then you're driving normal.
Also, somehow it's going to be more difficult for Roy to escape the cops.
Yeah.
I can't explain why.
I was going to ask, what do you mean by that?
Just historically, numbers-wise, I know we're a numbers podcast. Numbers,
We're
not so good for him.
Math-
Where are Dan's math
We're a
friends?
Math Friends podcast.
I don't think
by the
any
way.
of us would be in his math friends. I wasn't here for the math friends conversation, but I'm not in the math friends
Well,
conversation.
Dan's math friend said the Knicks are better than the Pacers.
Oh, the Knicks, finally.
Speaking of backing in, Knicks going to back into the NBA Finals here, or what's going on?
They're going to back into a Game 7, I can tell you that much. I mean, there's no way the NBA does not want a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden.
Can you imagine?
Right. I mean, the Pacers are fighting against everything. They're fighting against the team that
America,
the
some
NBA.
are saying too, yeah.
Well, they're fighting against the team that the NBA. We know the NBA wants the Knicks in the NBA Finals. We know that.
Yeah.
Whether they can pull it off or not, it's yet to be seen. But we do know that they would prefer that over a Pacers Oklahoma City final, which is a complete disaster. No one's going to sell me on the notion that that's a good NBA Finals. It's not. No one wants to see that. Nobody.
Well, if the Knicks make it to the NBA Finals and they get swept by Oklahoma City, is that any better? Would you rather have like a 7-game
Nope.
Pacers Thunder series or a 4-game Oklahoma City sweep over the Knicks?
What do you think the NBA would prefer?
Everything to go Game 7 with the biggest markets.
No, but in that scenario, they get a great series, Thunder and Pacers, or the Knicks get swept in 4.
They'd rather have a 7-game series, I think.
Well, if you're the NBA, that's actually a great question. Do you just want the right now of, hey, give me one big market, one series, let me get those ratings? Or do you want everybody to be talking about how 2 small markets are in the NBA Finals and any team can win the NBA championship, so all the fan bases should be tuned in? I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I'm just throwing it out there.
I do think that the Knicks are gaining a level of stardom nationally that the franchise hasn't had in a while in terms of actual success when it comes to, Jalen Brunson, and then you've got all the celebrities back courtside that they finally modernized in having people like Timothée Chalamet and even Ben Stiller around. And then Indiana can only benefit from getting there and building the star of Tyrese Halliburton as a villain going up against the Thunder. And really what's interesting is like a lot of people hate the Thunder too. So you'll have these 2 young point guards that you've built around that you can see for futures in these 2 small markets. To me, the best thing for the NBA is the Knicks have already gotten the shine. Going to the finals, not going to change anything if the Thunder are still going to win no matter what, because they're going to go down as one of the most dominant teams of all time regardless.
I didn't like what I saw last game courtside with all the celebrities. I saw Susie Essman from Curb Your Enthusiasm get relegated to 3rd row.
Right.
Miles Teller shows up. I haven't seen him there.
He's a
for other
Philly
games.
fan, by
That's
the
what
way.
I'm saying.
Right.
Just because he's friends with Chalamet, Miles, is this how this works? With their like,
Well,
I
Chalamet has 2 seats.
I just
so-
imagine whoever's in charge of this with the Knicks, they must have just an insane list of celebrities, and it's like I only have so many courtside seats. Susie Essman, she's from Curb. She's in the 3rd row here. She looks pissed.
You're saying
She, the whole time, has been a courtside person. Every game they show her courtside. And this game, inexplicably, 3rd row, looking not happy because Miles Teller just showed up out of left field.
Let me ask you a question. Had Larry shown up, Miles is in the 3rd row,
That's
you
what
think?
she's saying to her. I think that's what she's saying. If Larry's here, do I get to be in the like?
Man,
what is this?
Larry and Timothée Chalamet next to each other.
Oh,
That's a photo.
That's got to have audio with it.
Can you complain if you get the tickets for free?
I think
Because you have Susie Essman paying multiple thousands of dollars for
no.
courtside seats?
No. I think that she probably gets hooked up.
So if they're comped and they tell you, hey, instead of
3rd
courtside,
row.
we're
Oh,
going
no,
3rd
right.
row.
To your point,
But
is there
ego
something
is-
to complain about?
No, but ego is involved there.
Right,
Chris is
to your
right.
point, I don't think she's like actually mad at the Knicks people because it's like I get it. Miles Teller's mad. I'm mad at Miles Teller. Why are you
Does
just
he
swooping
belong
in here?
there with Chalamet? Is he on that level of celebrity?
Yeah, I think that's more
Top
Chalamet.
Gun.
I think
Top
that's more
Gun. Put him up there.
Chalamet sending a text, "Hey, I want to sit next to Miles."
I know, but since Top Gun. I mean,
I'm kind
Right.
of
You think
Stugotz.
Chalamet
Right.
needs the rub of Miles Teller?
no, I'm saying I think Chalamet's the king there right now. And if
Yeah.
Chalamet sends
Yeah.
a text, "Hey, I want to send Miles is coming and I want to
Spike
sit
is
next
the
to
king,
him."
but I understand
Okay.
what you're saying.
Spike is
Right.
the
Yeah.
I'm conflicted on Chalamet. I'm a little conflicted on him.
Why?
And I know everyone is going to crap all over me.
No,
on
no,
this.
I'm with you here, I
Well,
think.
no, you haven't even heard where I've gone
No,
yet.
but I think I'm with you.
You're going to tell me why this is ridiculous. So Chalamet lifelong Knicks fan, right? That's what we've seen. He was there. He won shoes or whatever. It was a child winning contest. Players were hiding things, whatever, right? Big time Knicks fan.
Yes.
If I'm Chalamet, and this is where you guys are going to jump on me.
All right.
If I'm Chalamet, I'm like, nah, like I'm a Knicks fan. Like I want to be in the 300s. Like I want to be in the seats that I was in when I grew up. I want to be like with the real Knicks fans. Like now we're kind of crossing a line here. We're going to like the celebrity status where it's like,
Right.
if you want to be a Knicks fan, you want to really be like a man of the people. Go
So
up
you've
and
got
sit
a
with the
guy
people.
who spent his life training to be an actor and stand out and entertain people.
Yeah.
Just being in the crowd with everybody
Sitting
else,
next to
not
Carlos from
standing
Bronx.
out.
Yeah, I mean that's what a Knicks fan is.
I think if you have courtside for regular season games, you should have courtside all the way through. I'm with Billy. It feels like, a lot of celebrities coming lately. It's
Exactly
like they
right.
just got here. They just got to the party because they want to be seen and because the Knicks are finally good. Where are you game 32 on a Tuesday night against, Charlotte?
I am curious
Where were
where
you?
I'm curious where Chalamet, because if he's this big a Knicks fan, he must have been going to Knicks games previous seasons.
That's
where
what I'm
was
saying.
he sitting before he played Bob Dylan?
Exactly.
No,
that's
I'm
where he
with you.
should be sitting.
Like last season, you think he was like a 100 level guy?
I feel like, and
Maybe he was
look,
third row. Maybe he was Susie Essman last year.
Call me no chance. He was not
What?
third row.
I think last year he had already done Dune. I think last year he was third row guy.
Call me crazy, but I think if you gave me me and Timothy, who was Tim or Timmy in the video, but now he's become Timothy, while he was a child and he was a Knicks fan. So if me and Tim were together in a room and I got to choose Tim's clothes and Tim had no security or anything, I think that I could get Tim in the 300 levels unnoticed. I think that people wouldn't know who he was if I dressed him. And he didn't have security detail or anyone around
think
him
you're right.
kind of drawing attention to him. I think that he's kind of like a normal guy. I could put a hat on him, get
Not
him
at this
into like the
point.
300.
Not at this point.
I can. I could get someone to be like, "Are you?"
He's like,
Jimmy?"
"No, I'm not."
Yeah, and he's like, "Nah, I'm."
I get that all
Jimothy."
the time.
I
Yeah,
get that
exactly.
a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. I could get him in there. I think.
Shave his
But
mustache?
I don't think he wants to be that anymore.
I am looking at a photo of him right now, just in pretty normal pants and a Knicks t-shirt and a backwards hat, sitting courtside, but he looks like any other dude.
Thank you.
At the same time, I'm pretty sure I would recognize him because he
You
looks like
would.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, no, but I could get him in there. There's a lot of people that are, like attractive that are not famous. And is he that attractive?
It's not even about the attractive. It's about the fact that he looks like himself.
Nah.
Like he's a very distinct looking guy. When
blends
you've
in.
Seen him enough now.
Nah,
You
he
think
just
so?
likes a guy.
I think he's more of a guy who blends in. I'm with Billy
Would
on
his
this.
bathwater sell, you think?
That's weird. I don't understand that.
Strangest thing ever.
So it's like
Paint this picture for me because I still don't really understand what this is. with
Here's
Sydney
what's
Sweeney.
happening. So
Really,
there's
Chris,
a brand.
you want him to paint a detailed picture of Sydney Sweeney taking a bath?
No, just paint the picture.
There's a brand called Dr. Squatch that is
Big fan of Dr.
partnering
Squatch, by the way. I love Dr. Squatch. I use Dr. Squatch every day.
with
they,
Sydney
like,
Sweeney.
sponsor of yours. What's happening? You're
personal-
trying to get an
They might
influencer
be.
deal? You're trying to
Personal
sell
sponsor. I
bathwater?
use their deodorant, by the
What's
way.
going on
Incredible.
here?
They're partnering with Sydney
We have a
Sweeney
deodorant sponsor.
on
Don't
a
say
soap
that.
called Sydney's Bathwater Bliss. And the premise of this soap is that it has
Gross.
some of Sydney Sweeney's bathwater in it.
So we're pandering to creepy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just have a few questions. First, I want to think
I
about
bet you're in on this, Jeremy.
me personally, not as much. And
I think Jeremy would buy a Sydney Sweeney bathwater bomb. Like if it was like there's a drop of Sydney Sweeney's bathwater in this bath bomb, and then you can put it in your own bath, and then it becomes like whatever it is that bath bombs do. You might be in on that.
I think the
What
thing
are we
that,
hoping for here, Jeremy, with the bathwater thing? Like, are we hoping that we get the essence of Sydney Sweeney? Like, isn't bathwater dirty?
I know what they want out of this, Izzy. And
Who?
So say it.
The people who are going to order this. Well, here's the first
So
question.
this is the after bathwater, not the before.
This is the after bath
Yes.
water. That's
so
correct.
she gets out of the bath and they take some of
and
that
they take
water.
some of that water
Right.
and they
Okay.
put it in the formula
That's
for this.
disgusting.
So,
Yeah.
So it's dirty soap.
sure.
It's clean soap. Dr. Squatch puts out great soap, by the way.
Well, it's soap made of dirty water.
It might not be dirty.
All I'm saying.
Hold on a second, because Chris, if it was the before water, it would just be water.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was in Sydney Sweeney's
But
bathtub.
it was in her bathtub.
Exactly.
Well, we actually don't know if it was in her bathtub or not. It might have been somewhere else, off-site.
According to GQ, she gave an interview with GQ, and she said that she took a bath on set when they were doing the shoot with some of the soap that they had created before, and that is the water that they harvested to then put in the new batch.
Harvested.
Is this a
of
bath
soap.
like after a beach day, or is this a bath like after just a night at home watching a movie?
Very important.
I
I'm
really
so
like your
confused.
attention to detail. All I want to know is what the
Is there
pitch
going to
room
be
is like.
sand in my bathwater?
Because, I mean, let's be real. You're going in a pitch room for soap, and, there's one guy, hey, Jenkins, what's your idea? Hey, maybe, some lavender scent. We can get something like that. Hey, Smith, what about you? Maybe some vanilla balm in there. I don't know, maybe some oak. Hey, what about your idea? I don't know. I was thinking, maybe hear me out. What if we took a little bit of Sydney Sweeney's bathwater and we put it in the soap? I don't know.
You go
What do
into
think?
work that day, you're either getting fired or promoted.
I mean, what reputation on the line?
You saved that idea for the end of the pitch, right? You're like, all right, I got one more.
Right.
I got one more idea here.
Hail
You guys
Mary.
just
The
hear me
final
out.
pitch.
I think you sandwich it. I think you have like really bad ideas after that, and you're like, that Sydney Sweeney bathwater one, not terrible.
It's just pretty amazing.
Because
that
like the
they
third
knew.
one is like diarrhea soap, and it's like, wait, what? Diarrhea soap?
Dr. Squatch
That's a
would never.
terrible idea. What's your deal with Dr.
The
Squatch?
fact that Dr. Squatch knew that there would be an audience for this, that for sure would give away their email for this sweepstakes.
Right.
It says something about us, doesn't it? And I'll
Who's this
address
us you speak of?
I'll address the camera directly. Men who are going to sign up for this sweepstakes.
good for you guys.
Wait, why men?
And women?
Yeah,
and
it could be
sure.
women.
No, it won't be.
Why?
You need a hug. You okay? I love you. It's okay. We could talk about it.
Hey, now cut to me.
It's all right.
Hey, bro, you're good.
It's okay. It's all going to be fine. You're loved. We love you here. It's all right. Just step outside. Go for a bike ride.
Back to me.
Give somebody a hug.
Don't listen to that guy. You're good.
It's a limited run, by the way. I think they're only making like 5,000.
Oh,
of
so
them.
we
they
gotta get 'em
stretched-
now?
Yeah, they stretched whatever the water was going to be to put it in.
Just
the
walk
soaps.
outside, barefoot, step on some grass.
Again, Dr. Squatch.
Oh,
did an
there's
incredible
only
job.
smell
guys,
the air.
There's
Tony,
only
you're thinking this is the end, just 5,000, we're done? I mean,
No, there's-
of that particular one.
You
I
can only
think.
get 5 max at a time.
There's only one.
I've heard.
There's only one. I'm on the website. It says, new and extremely limited edition, Sydney's Bathwater Bliss. Enter for a chance to win the only brick made with Sydney Sweeney's very own bathwater. So they made one. This would be, honestly, like one of the best white elephant gifts ever.
That's true.
So Christmas here at the Meadowlark offices, all of a sudden you see a little square and you're like, oh, what's this one? I'm gonna pick
Honestly,
this
it'd probably be super valuable. If
And
there's
then you
only
look at it and
one,
you're like,
you sell it.
whoa.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney's bathwater
What if
by
I
Dr.
find?
Squatch.
What if I find a way to make a bar of soap out of my own bathwater and make that a white elephant gift?
I'll talk to the people at Dr. Squatch and see what we can
Dr.
do.
Squatch.
How long have you been waiting to do that?
Since someone put it in my ear.
About 5 seconds. Very good.
I'm presently using a body wash that
I like this. Keep going.
A wash.
well, not presently. I'm presently sitting here, but
The men's care.
my body wash, or let me rephrase that. I know someone that's using a body wash. It's
Yeah.
not me because I use our sponsor's body wash. I know someone that's using a body wash
Right?
that's called Hammer Shark.
You know somebody. Right?
I know somebody.
Where did you get that, Navarro?
No, someone. Where did someone get it?
Where did he get that, Navarro?
Someone got it at Burlington Coat Factory because it was
What?
Next to the checkout.
Who is this
Discounted or
someone?
no?
I mean,
Yeah,
That
It
one
was
of those like
it
snake
was like
lines.
$5. It's called Hammer Shark. It's like
They couldn't even
that's-
go hammerhead.
No,
They had to
no,
go hammer
no.
shark.
The
Gotcha.
copyright, I guess, the sharks might go and sue. It's called Hammer Shark. It's a pretty intense looking label. I've seen it.
What does it smell like?
Hammer Shark.
I can't speak from experience, but it's pretty good.
you have to ask the person.
I
right?
had to. Yeah, I had to ask. I said, "May I sniff you?" And it's pretty good. But definitely not me.
This is all because of Saltburn, right? That's the reason we're here. That's why we've ended up with
So gross.
people signing up for Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap. Yeah?
Sure.
Great, cool. Thanks for
Checkout
the yes
lines.
and.
Checkout lines get me all the time. How about you guys?
Especially those stores.
No, when I
Transition.
go to Dick's Sporting Goods. No, someone brought up a checkout line, and so I'm just saying, like Dick's Sporting Goods. I go there because I'm thinking this is the time I'm going to get into shape.
Dick's
this is
Sporting
it.
Goods is the weirdest one.
Jeremy,
I
wants to
know,
talk about
and then
Saltburn.
Candy, all
Beef
the weird
jerky.
And then I
candy
get to the
pictures.
line. I'm online. I'm trying to pay, and what do I end up walking out
Sunflower
with?
seeds.
A pound of peanut M&Ms. I mean,
When I worked in
get those out of Dick's.
No, when I worked in it's intentional. Like it's obviously on purpose. When I worked in retail, they were called impulse towers. So you would put little things on there.
Just little trinkets.
Yeah, exactly right. Little trinkets, smaller versions of things that you see and you're like, oh yeah, I could use a quick
$3?
lip gloss. Yeah, I could get it.
What,
Lip
hand
gloss,
massager?
Yeah, you get you put little things there. They're not that expensive, and then you're like, oh yeah, I get one more thing, and then you add $5, $6, $7, $10 to each purchase because they're little things. M&Ms are one of them.
That's the only way I buy lip balm. If I see it in one of those lines,
yeah,
that's when I buy
Only
it.
if you're waiting in line, though.
Right, of course.
Otherwise,
nobody
you'll breeze
goes shopping
right
for
past
lip
it.
balm.
I love.
Apricot and pear.
I like those lines at
combination.
a TJ Maxx. One of those.
It's like,
where
I could get popcorn.
you could
Ross.
find anything in those lines.
those-
You never know what's gonna. The other stores, you more or less know, I'll get something related to the theme of this store or
Who's
whatever.
eating that popcorn? There's these aisles where it's
I've
just
discovered
these,
candy
packaged
in those
food
stores.
items. That's
Yeah.
these food items have been here every year I go Christmas shopping.
I'm on this new kick of it's a Nerds candy. So it's like a
For Jeremy?
it's a gummy. Nah, come on.
Oh, nice.
Low hanging.
Right.
I don't
It's
even
right
know
over
where the
here.
thing is.
Yeah,
Is
there
this
it
one?
is. Yeah. Wrong one.
I just
that's
hit
not
it
right.
blindly, hoping I hit the right
See
one.
if I can
Hit the,
Low-hanging
next one,
what?
hit the next one over.
Next page.
There you go.
That
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Is it that one?
Good one, yeah.
Doesn't deserve that.
Oh, what is it?
Attaboy, Chris.
He called Jeremy a Jeremy's still kind of reeling because he wanted to talk about Saltburn.
Well, Billy, I'm glad you brought that up. Would you like me to describe the scene that he's talking about from Saltburns because you haven't seen it?
I
so
haven't
that you
seen
can
it.
know?
Yeah, sure, what happens?
So the reason we're talking about bathwater and relating it to Saltburn is because there's this one scene in Saltburn where this one character masturbates in a bathtub, and as the bathwater is being drained down, somebody else who is obsessed with said person who is masturbating in the bathtub goes and sucks up the water around the drain of the bathtub. I had to watch that scene with my eyes mostly covered. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
And that's how we've ended up here with bars of soap.
Chris Whittingham is a fancy lad.
Missed that,
I
lad.
don't think that's
Perfect timing for that conversation.
So now you know.
Yeah.
So now I know.
Yeah.
So in those lines, I've discovered candy, and the candy that I'm on right now is Nerds.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Nerds? A little hard,
Jeremy?
I am familiar with It was funnier the second time around.
It's like the little hard candy, right?
What are they called?
Nerds.
Supposed to say like Jeremy.
Are you kidding
A
me?
bit late to it, you know.
He was so pleased.
I'm going to zag when you guys want me to
It
zig.
doesn't matter. No one cares about the candy or anything. Just take shots.
You love candy.
It's like Saltburn.
It's a gummy candy.
Billy,
that
it's
is
like Nerds rope. It's
No,
Nerds rope,
no.
but gummy one.
No, this one's like a little gummy ball, and it's just surrounded with nerds around the outside.
It's a Nerds rope, but a gummy. Is what it's
Amazing.
Imagine a Jeremy rope.
Nah, it's
Call it Nerds cluster.
Is that what it's called? A cluster?
clusters.
I don't know what it's called. I thought I was getting the right one that my wife liked, and she then was not happy because I got the wrong one because she doesn't like fruit
Nothing
punch,
worse than
apparently.
getting back and you're like, babe, look what I got you. And she's like, I hate this.
I gotta
And
be
you're like,
honest with you.
Oh.
Sometimes it makes me wonder, why do I even try?
Does it?
Yeah.
Because you brought home the wrong nerd.
The wrong
cluster.
candy, and I said, you know what? Next time, I'm just gonna bring home no candy. Then there's no complaints.
Or the bar of soap, Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. And be
There's
like, hey, look
only
what I
one.
got.
Yeah.
How much do you think that'll sell for, on the second market? If
Black
there's one?
market, a good amount.
That's not an answer.
Oh, yeah, I can't reveal all my sources on what exactly it would cost. Maybe
I bet it costs over $1,000.
$2,500.
If you to resell it,
Yeah.
That's something you don't use. If you buy it for that price, you don't use it.
you can't take it out of the box, right?
It's
If
gotta
there's
be mint
one,
condition.
Yeah.
I'm using that thing.
They're going to smell it every day. That's what they're going to do.
You're saying if you're purchasing bathwater, you're going to use
Yeah, I'm
it?
taking it for a walk.
It's
for
free
sure.
from your faucet.
Or
though.
swim.
There you go.
Not her bathwater, though.
Oh, okay.
Her bathwater costs.
It's really
Right,
crazy,
right.
right? Like, it's
I
pretty
still
wild. what we're
I
doing.
need to know if it's like
Dr.
after
Squatch
a
isn't
workout.
crazy.
Is it like after a
It's
night
just
of
on set.
Beach
It's just
day.
on
I
set.
just told you,
That's
on
all it
set.
is,
Just
on
have
set.
sex, right?
What?
Now
No,
we're
these are
talking.
important details
wait,
for
what just-
bathwater.
Wait,
What's it?
what was
Stugotz
that?
is right.
There's
Right.
a lot of people talking there. What
Chris would
happened?
like to know the activities leading up to you taking a bath. Were you at the beach all day? Did you have sex at the beach? I mean,
It sounded like she was just shooting a commercial. Which also, if they got this bathwater, she was shooting a commercial or something, right? She was on set, and then they're like, we should go collect her bathwater. That's really weird.
There's probably a little bit of fecal matter in there, right?
What?
Yeah,
In
Probably.
bathwater? No?
particles for sure.
was that Poppy?
Very intrigued.
So the Panthers are back in the Stanley Cup final.
That's right.
So is Edmonton.
That's right.
So Edmonton wins last night. Last year, they did not touch, because there's this whole thing in hockey, superstitions, touching the conference championship trophy. The Panthers, the first year they got there, touched the trophy, lost. Last year, didn't touch the trophy, won.
Right.
Last year, Edmonton didn't touch the trophy, lost. Mm-hmm. So now this year, they touched the trophy.
Wow.
McDavid touched it.
What's going to happen?
Panthers didn't touch it, by the way.
Hold
this
on.
year either.
Run this by all of us again.
Oh, it's okay. It's a lot.
Okay.
Last year,
Yes.
Edmonton
Edmonton.
not touch the trophy.
They won the conference finals, did not touch the trophy.
Didn't touch the trophy.
Okay.
And then they
Got it.
lost
Bigger
the final.
trophies ahead of them.
This
Right.
is in 2024.
Yes,
Got it.
and then they lost the final.
And then lost.
Right.
And so now this year, because last year they didn't touch it and lost, they're like, hey, we're going to touch it. So they touched it this year.
So they touched and questioned.
Taking a different approach, yes.
And the Panthers won when they didn't touch it and lost when they... Basically, the Edmonton Oilers and the Panthers are opposite ends of the luck spectrum right now in terms of touching the
So
trophy.
in 2024, the Panthers did touch it.
Did the Panthers touch it this year?
Did they
No.
touch it in
No.
2023?
When they went against Vegas, the first year they were there, the Panthers did touch it, and then they lost to Vegas. So last year, they were like, we're not touching that thing, and they won. So, of course, this year, Panthers didn't touch it. The question is, if the Edmonton Oilers lose this year, what do they do if they get back next year? Because then they will have lost 2 in a row.
They're out of options.
Straight to the locker room.
Don't even show up for the ceremony.
It seems like maybe touching the trophy doesn't actually impact.
Does it
the
actually
results.
matter? That's a great question by Billy. Or is it all psychological?
If I'm the Panthers, I don't touch it because you already won the big
Right,
one.
they didn't touch
You
it.
don't need
Yeah.
that. I wouldn't even go to the ceremony.
But they
Leave
won
up
it by
on the
not
ice.
touching it.
What if just to make like news, if you're like the 6th defender on the Panthers,
And you touch it?
you just like they're all not touching it. There's a photo happening, and then some guy like Belinski's walks up at the end and just like, hey,
Belinskis.
whatever. Man.
I like that he goes, he trips, and he's and
Yeah,
he touches
oops.
it that way. Yeah.
That would've
Like
been
to the ice slip.
Whoopsie daisy.
Whoa!
And then he touches it.
Speaking of touching it, Sydney Sweeney's bathwater.
fun. Wow, hell yeah.
Touching what?
Featuring in-flight magazines.
In-flight magazines. Slayed the pandemic. Traveling again. Big bird up. But something's different. I look in the seat pocket in front of me, and all I see is that cardboard pamphlet about the plane that nobody reads, the drink menu nobody needs, and the barf bag. Where's my in-flight magazine? Where did it go? Joni was right. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot, and then stole my in-flight magazine. These staples of Americana predated even Greg Cody. Pan Am Airways published the first IFM in 1940. Now the high-flying mags are disappearing like donuts in a press box. Southwest Rag, augustly called simply The Magazine, is gone now. Delta Sky, gone. American Way, gone. Retired after 55 years. Alaska and Emirates Airlines, too, gone. Airline magazines falling from the sky one by one. Some others, like United Hemispheres, are now digital only. Blame the pandemic. COVID killed the in-flight magazine, or rather gave airlines an excuse to make a cutback like businesses did with remote meetings where the office buildings used to be. But more than that is to blame. The digital era stampeded the helpless handheld mag. In-flight entertainment and mobile browsing happened. Airlines have even claimed noble reasons for discontinuing their magazines, like how removing all of them makes planes lighter, which saves on fuel. Sounds like malarkey. Hurtling cabins once were full of rattling newspaper pages held wide. Then those disappeared, and then I was the last flyer still leafing through an in-flight magazine while everybody else was softly chuckling at a movie or listening to music with earbuds. I miss every bit of the airline magazine, the greeting from the airline president, the Penn and Teller at the Rio ad, the dating and hair restoration ads, and the one inviting me to invest in a home care franchise, things to do in Minneapolis, the list of top 10 steakhouses and America's best plastic surgeons, the crossword puzzle inevitably half-finished and poorly by a previous seat occupant. Oh, and the feature story on Southwest Customer Service Agent of the Month. You can't get that anywhere else. Most of all, I miss... Anybody else remember Sky Mall? Oh, my gosh. It was Amazon before Amazon, only at 30,000 feet. Talk about built-in marketing. Bored flyers stuck in a cabin for 3 hours slamming cocktails are liable to buy anything, which Sky Mall offered. I'll never forget the time, after 3 or 4 deep eddies, I accidentally bought a life-size Bigfoot garden gnome for $2,250. Airlines, I will gladly pay extra if the bag I check is a pound too heavy. I'll put up with your cancellations, and with a hot meal being replaced by a 1-ounce bag of pretzels. Just please, give me back my in-flight magazine. See, I never played that Sudoku puzzle, but I sure did like knowing it was there. I'm Greg Cody, and that's how it was back in my day.
The Florida Panthers have won the 3rd consecutive Eastern Conference championship and will go to the Stanley Cup final next week. We talked to Bob Rasmussen about it on The Hockey Show.
Former Congressman Joe Garcia talks about the end of Cuban exceptionalism and Miamians who overwhelmingly voted to deport themselves. Also, the telenovela at City Hall continues with another near brawl between corrupt Commissioner Joe the Joker Carollo and Miami's Dark Knight Miguel Gabella. All this week on Because Miami.
I love this town!
That seems fun. This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
That's a mean thing to say. Well, since I produced the damn show.
It's not about you, Roy.
Ah, okay.
Wow. I was talking to Stugotz today before the show. I was talking to Tony, too. I told Tony he was looking thin, which I meant as a compliment.
I took it
as an insult.
It wasn't that it was an insult. It's just I know and I feel self-conscious about it. I have lost a little bit of muscle mass since the baby was born. I haven't been going to the gym as regularly. And I look myself in the mirror and I'm like, I don't like the way that things are looking. And then I stepped on the scale and I was like 10 pounds lighter. And I was like, I haven't done anything different. So that can only mean one thing.
Well, I have bad news for you because the conversation I was having with Stugotz before is he said, you sound like you're sick. You sound like you have the sniffles. You sound like you're like catching something. No, he was telling me this.
Oh, yeah. You always sound like that, though.
Well, that's exactly what I told him. I go, I always have.
Jeremy kind of sounds like that right now, too, by the way, if you want to talk.
Yeah, I'm just mostly exhausted.
What's happening? Why is everyone just taking shots at Jeremy today?
No, he just sounds a little
Today?
sniffly.
Just today.
The funny thing is I woke up this morning feeling a little like meh, and I was like, what happened yesterday where I was around germs? Could anything have happened? You guys weren't here yesterday. Yesterday I did some gross stuff on the show.
Okay.
What'd you do?
Yeah, that's right.
I dropped a spoon on the floor and I picked it up and I
That's good.
How many seconds,
Antibodies,
though? How many seconds?
Build up your immunity.
less than 5. Thank you.
Oh, you're good.
Hey,
Yeah,
but it's a carpet.
Hold on, hold on.
I wasn't scheduled.
Yeah,
All
five
right,
second
pull
rule.
up the
Wasn't on the
replay.
schedule.
Let's wait
I
a
mean,
second
sorry.
because what it was, he had already put it in his mouth, so now it's a slightly damp spoon. It falls to the floor of the carpet.
Like a piece of ham.
He picks it up and he doesn't look at it. And
I
puts
did
it
look
in
at it.
his
We got the
mouth.
video of it.
Okay,
You guys
hold
had
on.
blizzards yesterday?
There's
He
video
had a
here.
blizzard.
They had blizzards on Monday.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
So
Let's
the
see here.
Tuesday.
Oh, falls.
I pick it up
Okay.
and then I'm like doing show, so I'm not really thinking about anything. And I just go right to my mouth with it.
Well,
It was-
okay.
I
Cleans
wasn't
it off
thinking-
with his mouth.
I wasn't
Cleans
thinking.
it off.
Here's the question. The 5-second rule. Is it like 5 seconds from when it hits the ground to back in your mouth? Or is it just 5 seconds?
I think it's how long is it on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say it fell and then it was still there collecting potential airborne germs, in your other hand for a couple seconds here, but I think you're fine.
Thank you.
Who discovered that? Like, who?
Well, they were.
Who's the person that saw this?
The whole
happen
room
that
pounced
then-
on it. The
No,
whole
because
room.
Jeremy's not looking, so Jeremy doesn't realize it. He's not the one that snitched on you. He would be good in the crime.
I think it
family.
might have
I
been
would
Mike,
never.
Mike Ryan was to my right. I think he saw me. Or Jason State
Yeah.
pointing to himself right now. I guess Jason saw
Jason
it.
is
Yeah.
being happy about being the snitch. I don't
It's
like
weird.
That.
I
And
don't
also,
understand
but
that.
there was actually, if that's where it
No one
ended.
takes pride in being the snitch.
That's not where it ended.
Don't
by
like
the way.
that.
Where did
Then Mike came in with a wet, damp rag. Or no, he got a paper towel, got it a little damp, and then to test how dirty the floor was, he put the damp paper towel on the floor and then lifted it up.
No. He didn't just put it there. He scrubbed the floor.
Well, he
with
like
that.
pressed down.
Well,
That's unfair.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
not
he
what your
lifted it
spoon
up,
did.
and it proved that it wasn't that dirty. Like, and then he lifted it up, and there was no because they clean these floors.
You
pretty
just got to
regularly.
drop it and pick it right back up.
And so then
I mean-
we did the bit where we crumbled it up, and then Dan was like, "You won't put that in your mouth," and I may have put a crumbled up.
You don't have to just do whatever
That's
Dan
the
says.
part
right?
that I.
Like, you
felt
don't need
the
to give
pressure.
in to
I felt
peer
the pressure from the room of like
Right.
I'm a showman. Like everyone want like I can't like what are we
You're
gonna
like
end
Timothy
this bit?
Chalamet.
Is this
He
bit
was a
gonna end?
showman.
Is this bit gonna end with just like nah I'm not doing it?
Sometimes it's just easier to do it.
Thank you.
The reality is, if you didn't do it, the bit wasn't going to end.
It was one of those
So,
things where I
yeah,
was just
you're
like-
probably right.
I'm gonna do it.
And
It
then
would've
Dan
just
did
never
the
stopped.
vomit sounding thing, which honestly, it's really gross.
That's
and he
that's
needs to stop.
that's what made me vomit the day of the Onion. The vomit sound.
wasn't
that he
the
was doing-
Onion?
No, honestly, it was when he was doing the vomit sound. It was a combination of things, but I was fine. I was plowing through the Onion pretty good, and once he started doing over and over
Thank
again,
you.
that's when like it started coming up, and that's when the vomiting started.
So you're if somebody else barfs, you're gonna barf kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I'm
Like,
not.
You're. What are you guys? You guys are
I
just
can
there
watch people
salt
barf.
No, I
burning
can
in
watch somebody
bathtubs
barf. I
while
can be
people
like,
are
yeah.
vomiting.
I can watch you barf.
Yeah, I can watch you barf and not feel like
So-
I need to barf.
So I woke up today with a little just like does my throat hurt?
Little
And I
tickle?
so I was just like
It's not that.
Thank
It's
you.
not that.
Thank
If anything, that made you stronger.
thank you.
So we were talking to Stugotz, and he's like, "You sound like you're sick." And I told him I'm just always different levels of sick, and I was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna be just healthy again until my children are gone, because kids are just always sick, bringing in germs until my children are gone. And then once my children are gone,
Like out of the house.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying.
Then, well, once my children are gone, then I will probably still just be sick because I'll be older and my immune system will be
Then
down
the
anyways.
grandkids
So,
come, and
yeah,
then they
I'm
start
just-
getting you
I'm
sick.
just gonna be sick.
Yeah, but you
for
get
the
the
rest of my life.
grandkids in small doses. You
Sure,
know?
but still, I mean, they're
In
there,
and
and all of
out,
a sudden
you know?
you got a cough, and then I got a cough, and
Are you looking forward to being a grandfather, Stugotz?
Oh my God, I'm getting close to that.
What?
Oh,
There's
oh,
news
oh,
on this
hold on
one?
a
Well,
second.
I'm
close
not
are you
announcing
talking about?
anything.
No,
Neither of my
no.
girls are pregnant. None of them are getting
okay.
married.
I mean,
In the
you scared me
future.
for a second there.
But they're
man.
both about to
Future.
graduate college, so I am getting closer to that. And I have thought about being a grandfather, and I can't believe that sentence just came out of my mouth. I have contemplated being a grandfather.
And what would you do?
I'd be a great grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you're just regular grandfather.
How are you
Yeah,
handling
just a regular
Well, you know
grandfather
what I'm
first.
saying.
how are you
Regular
handling
grandfather
just
later.
dating?
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking forward to that.
Nope.
I mean, one of my daughters has a boyfriend, a very serious boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Emma does not. Rachel has a serious boyfriend.
Huh.
I'm good with it. Like he's a good dude. Plays quarterback.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
That's-
Yeah,
I mean-
yeah.
Does he play or is he on the bench?
So is he
He
a,
plays-
is
he
he a
plays center
good dude,
field, I
or
mean-
does he play quarterback? That's the
At
question.
Northwestern?
He's a great dude who happens to play quarterback.
Now, if he, was a flautist or something instead of quarterback, would we still think that he was a great dude?
Everything else is the same. He's just
Yeah.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
don't.
whoa.
I don't think he thought this one through. Like you're already going to be judging him because he's dating your daughter, but now you're going to be judging the shit out of him as a quarterback
No,
too.
I don't think. I think just being a quarterback is enough. I don't think he has to be a good quarterback.
He doesn't even need to start.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, does he?
Does he? That's a good
he
question.
started a bunch of games last year.
Okay.
Backup is the place to be. Everybody loves the backup.
What was the
quarterback.
TD interception ratio?
That's a great question.
I'm not certain. It's a
Let's
good
look
question.
This up.
Look that
Yeah.
Hold on a
How is he
second.
in the pocket?
I saw some potential.
Careful.
I mean,
Says
So
Connor.
quarterback, and he plays
Take it
baseball
easy.
at Northwestern.
It's just,
How does he do against a high cover 2?
yes, he plays center field.
Is that a euphemism? High cover too.
If you want it to be.
Big bat.
What?
Ooh, power hitter. All right.
Jesus, crazy. What I was just saying, he uses an oversized bat. It's crazy.
This is a really weird conversation. That's your child.
Side view mirrors.
You guys asked me if I thought about being a grandfather. I said yes, I have.
Well, I mean, I didn't. When I
think we
said,
were
"Have you
all-
thought about being a grandfather?" I meant like, having a grandchild, not the act that would make you a grandfather.
Well, I'm not thinking about that.
I think
you guys are.
everything was normal
No.
until you mentioned a big bat, I think.
Really?
But you said pocket presents. I
Really?
didn't like
Yeah,
that.
when I said pocket
didn't like
presents,
that.
that's on me.
That's a foul. That's a-
Right,
that's a-
then you
that's
got
a-
me going, and then I was like, wait a second, this is my daughter we're talking about.
I hope she doesn't listen to the show.
Why
doesn't.
on earth would she?
I don't want
might
to
send her
dox
the
the
clip,
guy,
though.
but I did find him.
Yeah, and Big Bat.
Let's not say. Let's not say
his name.
I know. I'm not
Let's
going
definitely
to.
not say
But
his
the
name.
audience
Given
is
out
doing
all
this.
the information.
You gave out every piece of information that was
Yeah.
necessary.
Northwestern has multiple quarterbacks.
Well,
I mean,
now
They
you
don't
said
all
the-
play center field.
And now
Yeah,
you said
but
the
you know
school.
what?
Northwestern has multiple center fielders.
It could have been anywhere.
They have multiple guys on the
You
football
just said-
team that
you're-
are also playing on the baseball team. It's Northwestern.
Who
It
started
that
several
are
games at
backup quarterbacks.
Big Ten.
You gave all this
You made a big mistake.
information out.
could be Mike Wright. I mean,
Thick neck.
For those who have already Googled, that's a great joke.
thank you. So yes, I've thought about it, Billy. I like to not think about it because I'm getting old.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of want to be there already. I'd like to fast forward to just
You
the
are old,
grandparent stage
Billy.
already. I know. I know.
You want to fast forward to being a grandparent?
What an odd
Yeah.
thing.
Why?
Because most people are like, oh, I want to spend as much time with my kids, like when they're young. Like you're just like, get me to being a grandpa.
Yeah, it seems like it's a less stressful existence
Exactly.
than I'm
That's when
presently
you cash in. When you're the grandfather, when you're
Yeah.
just with the kids every once in a while, and then you just back off, and you're their favorite. Yeah, the parenting
Play some
stuff.
golf.
That's for the
I think
girls.
I'm with Billy. Yeah, there's something cathartic about, hey, you're done. I'm done here.
You guys sound ridiculous.
Just bring the. No, Billy's right.
I want to
Like,
get to that, but I want to take my time getting there.
Yeah,
I want
but
to
you're-
enjoy every moment.
I know,
I'm a
but
destination. not
Chris,
a journey
imagine
guy.
a world where your kids are their kids are just dropped off. You deal with them for like an hour. You give them $100. You send them back to the parents.
What?
And then you go golfing.
No, he's
I mean,
right.
No, you got to give him 100.
You got to
bucks.
give them
right, he's
$100.
right about that,
Yes.
yeah.
How
yeah.
often are you
Cash.
seeing these kids?
I mean, I don't have them yet, but I'm just saying when I do, I'm going to give them $100 every
quiche.
single time. Yes, that I see them.
I
But then
like
go play golf.
I like
Yes.
the idea of like dropping off my kids at like the grandparents now, knowing that $100 is coming, and they have no
Oh, man.
idea what the $100 is.
It's the best now. Like it's almost like an itch you want to scratch. You got $10 in your pocket, and your nieces and nephews are there. It's like, take my money. Here you go. And they love it. They're like, wow, how much money do I have now? And they put it in their piggy bank, and they have like $60. It's
This
sad.
poor kid's about to get thousands of followers on Twitter and have no idea why.
That's Friday. No one's listening. That's why I'm
Doesn't
here.
care. He just wants the followers.
Big bet.
NIL and stuff.
How does NIL work?
You know how it works.
I'm saying, like, do you like has Rachel got in any NIL situations? They can sell like their names now, right? Like clothes with their
they
names.
can sell
and stuff
their
like that?
name and their likeness. The lacrosse program, because it's very good and they've won so many national championships, has had an influx of NIL money. Sure.
Yeah, but
for
you're
sure.
a mover and a shaker.
I haven't done anything on that front.
Really?
Yes.
That's surprising to me.
Why?
Because you're kind of someone that, you know, likes to figure out how to make things happen. Again, a mover and a shaker. And if there's deals to be made, you like to be making them.
That's fair. I've tried not to get too involved in what is going on with Rachel and that lacrosse program.
But aside from being there every day.
Well, I go to the games because I want to support my daughter and I enjoy it. Like it's fun. It's fun going to the games, but I've tried to stay out of it for the most part. There is an NIL deal that has been done with that lacrosse team with Guzman y Gomez, which is the Mexican restaurant that my friends own in Australia and Japan and China. They've made hundreds of millions of dollars, and they are the team sponsor now of the Northwestern Women's Lacrosse Program because they're expanding into the United States, and they have a store that just opened in Evanston. So I did not put that deal together, but it was a nice deal for Rachel and the
So,
team.
Stu, they went across the world. They're in all these amazing places overseas. They came to the United States, and they're like, Evanston, Illinois, that's where we're going.
So they wanted to do a test state in the United States, and they
test
chose.
state.
Yes,
That's where you do it.
They chose Illinois.
Nothing says
Yes.
Guzman y Gomez like Illinois.
They're crushing it. Naperville, crushing it.
Best year ever.
Evanston, crushing it.
Who are the two guys whose faces we're looking at Guzman y Gomez? Because it's not your friends' faces.
It's Luis Guzman and Michael Gomez. They were two kids who used to smoke cigarettes in the back of our high school.
Stu,
They have no idea their names and faces are plastered all over these restaurants.
Wait. Your friends named a Mexican restaurant after two
Luis Guzman.
maybe Mexican kids that were in the class with them.
Luis Guzman, Michael Gomez, smoked cigarettes back of Schreiber High School.
But these are like older
I'm not certain they went to
people.
school. I mean,
These are older people on this picture, like the logo, one of them looks like Dwight Lauderdale, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like who are these faces?
I have
Because
no
they're
idea.
not teenagers. They just said, let's draw what maybe
What they
Mexican
might
people
look
What
like
they
in the
think they look
future.
like at the age of 50.
Yeah,
yes.
right, exactly. You know when you have those missing kids and it's like, this is what they look like when they were little, but now this is what we think they look like 18 years later. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Stu, did you say earlier that Harlan missed the broadcast last night?
I did say that.
He
yeah.
was on the broadcast
Valhalla.
last night.
Wow.
Stan sounded a little bit under the weather. Harlan sounded a little bit under the weather. Reggie sounded fine while losing.
Did he?
Yeah, he sounded fine. I'm telling you, I think this is getting to Kevin Harlan. That did not sound like Kevin Harlan. It did not. It was either that or the 40 milligrams. I mean, I'm not certain.
It's probably that. Is it exhausting now having to pay attention to the Knicks like this late in the season, trying to catch up and figure everything
I liked
out?
it better when they were bad.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, the Panthers are entering that territory, and Roy will disagree with this, but the Panthers are entering that territory that, like, the big three were at the end. We're like,
Enough.
a little bit of fatigue, right? It's kind of like, okay,
Oh, for crying
You're
out loud.
already there with the Knicks, you're saying?
first round exit. You know what I mean? No, I'm not there with the Knicks. He said that it's exhausting for him to have it go on this long, but once you have like the continued success, like back to back Stanley Cup final appearances, you
This is
are
like
kind of
you-
thinking like maybe next year we first round exit.
This is like you saying you want to
Rest
rush
up a
through
little.
your daughter's childhood.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a weird take. Like, no, this is awesome, and
Let's
I'm
get
enjoying.
over it already.
well, I
Now,
mean,
granted-
LeBron James agrees with me.
At the end of a playoff run, my liver needs a break. But
That's a brat.
this is fun, Billy. I do not wish this to be done. I want to go back next year to the final as well.
It's only fun if you win, though, right?
Yeah, if you lose,
Otherwise,
it's
complete
kinda
waste
like-
of time.
I
No,
could've
if we
saved
lose
a
this
couple
round,
months.
I still own the East. I
No,
can still look at
who
the Lightning.
No
I
one
can still look at
cares. No one
Toronto.
cares
I
about
can still look
owning
at
the
Carolina. I can still look at the Rangers. I can still look at the Bruins
Yeah.
and be like, I'm your daddy.
Yeah, but you also failed America, and you were the team that allowed Canada, not just because of present, American-Canadian relations, but just in general. Canada ends the streak of 30-plus years of not hoisting Lord Stanley, and it's because of the Panthers.
I'll spin it as a win.
There's a lot at stake with this one, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's the rematch. You've got Connor McDavid.
At State.
Was it Yandel that said he's the greatest athlete right now? So the greatest athlete going
He's
for
not.
a cup. You've got the Greg Cody situation, right? He's back. What's he going to say this time to
Overrated.
get them all
Right.
ticked
I'm
off?
trying to get him to come up with a funny nickname for Draisaitl.
Just,
So
guys,
it can be Mick Overrated and I haven't
can
come
we?
up with
It's good producing.
Okay, no, that's fine. Can we get
Good job,
ahead of
Chris.
this
You haven't
now?
thought of it yet, huh?
Give me good. Let's do this. Audience, send us in.
Make overrated Seidel.
But like, do it now because what happened last year was we put up a McOverrated billboard like 3 months after the thing was done, and it was like one with Greg Cody on it. By the time it went up, everyone had forgotten about it. So like, if we're gonna do this billboard thing again, like decide
when the
now.
iron's hot,
Yeah,
yeah.
think about it now.
More
decide
like
now.
Lee off Draisaitl.
Huh?
Leon.
Leon.
Keep
Leon.
working on it.
Yeah,
Good
we're,
one, man.
we're workshopping.
White Leon.
Drawing board. Yeah.
Leon.
It is a white Leon.
Draisaitl.
German
There you go,
Leon.
maybe.
Workshopping.
All right, I think we saved the.
Connor has to win this one,
Let's
right?
save the billboard budget this year.
Can't
If-
keep getting to the cup and losing. I mean,
I'm kind of.
I'd be considered the greatest athlete in the world. You can't do that.
I mean, you can make the argument the Panthers are as deep a team as that's been in this league in a long time. Like it's not like he's losing against two bad teams if he loses this year. But yes, no, that noise will get ratcheted up.
But if he wins, then every team's going to touch it from now on, right? Because they touched it.
No. That superstition is too strong.
Well, it depends on the team. As you saw, the Panthers, the first time they won it, they touched it. So it just kind of depends on like the captains of the team and the
The
coaches.
Oilers are just trying to reverse jinx.
Right.
See, that's it. They didn't touch it last year. They lost the cup.
Right.
They touch it this year. Figure they're going to win the cup.
So wouldn't that be breaking the tradition? Wouldn't that be changing the superstition?
I think it's just one of those things. Some teams do believe in that, and some teams don't. Like I think there are examples of teams like winning after touching.
I
it.
always want to touch it.
Same.
Would you touch the cup before winning the cup?
No. Well, I don't think anyone does that, right? That's,
No.
That's
No,
Nobody
someone's
does that.
done it.
Roy's held the Stanley Cup here in the office. It was the fake Stanley Cup, but you've held the Stanley Cup here
I
in the
did
office.
not touch that.
You touched it.
I did not touch it.
not before they won.
You've touched the
He
Stanley
touched it
Cup.
since
I
they
s-
won.
Yeah, I touched it after they won. I did not touch the Stanley
It's like a
Cup before.
moratorium
But you
period, right?
t-
like where you've got a window where it's okay to touch it
Yeah, what
after
is the
your
window?
team won it. What's that window? When does that stop
Like, right.
to where now you're cursing the next
right,
season?
Like right now, Kachuk could not touch it. I think once the
Right, so
next.
when did
I
that
think
start?
it's
Yeah,
once
but
the next
Chucky won
season.
it already.
Game one?
Once the
You have the
next
full
season
off
starts.
season?
The
No,
full off
there's
season.
no moratorium after you win it.
So you can touch it now,
Yeah.
and it doesn't jinx this season?
Correct.
No, I disagree.
That's ridiculous.
I
Roy, that
guarantee
cup
Not
was
ridiculous.
absolutely
if
in here.
Kachuk
Roy's
right now,
touched the cup.
Roy,
He's a
that
liar.
cup was absolutely in here before they won the cup.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
we
what
didn't
you
touch
did.
Yeah,
it.
but I didn't touch it.
No, we didn't. Like, I'm with Roy.
Roy didn't
We
touch
all
it.
did not
No.
touch it before we won.
Thank goodness, because you touched it.
But you sure touched it after you won.
Yeah.
I have not actually. I'm like one of the few people.
Haven't
Good for
touched
you.
it
I have
since,
not gotten a picture with the cup. Like everyone I know saw the cup at some point and got a picture with it. I never did.
Roy, is Edmonton better this year?
Yes. Yeah, they are better this year.
Are the Panthers
So
better
are the
this year?
Panthers.
Wow.
So
Something's
this is gonna
gotta
be crazy.
give.
Yeah,
What
something's
makes
gotta give.
Edmonton better this year?
They're
Because
deeper.
they look
Well,
a lot.
no,
They
you know
look
what?
very
Actually-
similar to me.
Actually, Zach Hyman is injured. He's not going to play in this series, so that's a big blow to them. But yeah, they are definitely better this year. And Stuart Skinner, who I had questions about going into the West Final because
still
he
have
wasn't
questions.
consistent. I mean, he
Still
wasn't,
got questions about him.
He wasn't consistent going into the West Final, but he did really well against the Stars. So I kind of expect him to keep that consistency going into the Cup Final.
Do we think, just pivoting to the NBA real quick, do you guys think that the Knicks defense, speaking of consistency, can have that type of effort in Game 6? Because to me, the only difference last night was that their defensive intensity was on another level, and they were able to prevent Tyrese Halliburton, who's been facilitating the entire Indiana Pacers offense, from getting into the lane at all. It'd be like if Minnesota had been able to prevent Shea from doing that for more than one game. Do you guys think that it's possible that they can repeat that effort and slow down Indiana that way?
It's hard to repeat desperation, right? Like
Yeah.
the desperation meter, you can only go so high before you start revving in. All right, we've kind of given it all we have.
And when the other
They're
team
still
doesn't
desperate.
have desperation.
Right.
Tony, still desperate, though.
Still
But now the
desperate,
Pacers are feeling a little desperate,
But can you
too.
feel
they had
desperate?
Pacers
zero
are nervous.
desperation.
The Pacers are a home loss away from going back to the Mecca for a Game 7.
Right, which is why they have
And I will tell you
desperation.
what, that
Then it's a
building will win
desperation
that
off.
building. That
What?
building will win that game. Is
No,
what I
it
was
will
trying
not.
to say. Yes.
Who's more desperate?
I think when you look at defensively, they've probably played the best defense they have in the last couple of rounds, right? Just last night.
Because they're playing Jalen Brunson less?
This is what I love / hate about, assigning people their superstar status, right? Because I love Tyrese Halliburton. He was absolutely masterful in that previous game, but he follows up with a triple single. And now it's all about, the Knicks defense did this. And yeah, the Knicks defense did do something different to Tyrese. Took a while, took long enough for them to finally try to get the ball out of his hands, but it does give them some hope of being able to replicate that and do that, maybe when the pressure's greater on Tyrese at home to close it out, because he obviously doesn't want to go back to MSG. So there's something there. There's definitely a storyline here with this series. It's definitely not over.
I think to the point, and we talked about it on Audible yesterday, how well Cat's been playing. Yesterday only took 1 3. Everything else was at the hoop. I think he went like 8 for 12 inside the restricted area. Like that's the recipe for the Knicks to be good. Is Karl Anthony Towns? Wait, you're 7'2" and you're 290 pounds. Go and get the bucket that you need to in the paint.
Well, and that's why the Brunson-Towns pick and roll had been so elite during the regular season, and they've really shied away from using that in the postseason. Like it's not been something they've gone to, and because they haven't gone to it a lot, it also hasn't been efficient. You don't know chicken and egg in that scenario, but that's been something that throughout the year was getting Towns more easy buckets. Last night, it was just his own assertiveness with the ball at the top of the key to decide, I'm just going to drive to the hoop and I'm going to make this happen, or I'm going to back guys down. But to me, it's so funny because you look at this performance from Halliburton, you could be like, oh, now the pressure's on. But at the same time, just like the one bad Shea performance in this series against Minnesota where they got blown out, if Indiana wins in 6, you're not even going to remember this game and this performance because of how spectacular he's been in the rest of the series.
The crazy thing about Cat to me is if he didn't have the ridiculous fouls and maybe, didn't sort of move the way he moves, people would be like, this guy is dominating. Because it's 26 and 12 and shooting 52% and up until last night.
And it's every night.
45 from 3 and it's every night, and it's just like, okay, well, we're just going to give him a hard time. He's doing it. The only problem is Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, your two team leaders, your best combination are one-way players. They are both defensive liabilities. You don't really see champions built that way. One of them's got to be a two-way player.
You don't think that the Fieldhouse is going to win the game for the Pacers, Stugotz?
No, I don't. I
Really?
think the NBA is going to win the game for the Knicks, Game 6, and then the building will win the game for the Knicks in Game 7. Wow. I think the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. That's why, Dan wants my tears throughout this series. He's wanted my tears, and I haven't given him my tears because I do believe the Knicks are a better team. They are a ridiculous shot and bounce away from being up 3-2 headed back to Indiana.
I forgot that we had a game that you wanted to play this segment.
Yes.
Have you guys familiar with blind rankings? You guys want to try this game? It's called Blind Rankings. Okay. So Roy, are you interested?
Do we need pencil and paper for this for us?
Yeah.
Is this don't look now?
You got to put pen to paper.
Hold on. Only if Roy wants to play. Roy, do you want to play blind rankings?
No.
Okay, well then never mind. We're not
Can I
going
get
to
a
play
pen?
blind rankings today.
Maybe later.
Well,
Now-
What do you want to do now,
Later.
Roy?
yeah.
I changed my mind.
Isn't this about the time that you just get up and walk out and leave and then say
No,
I
that's
got
during
a
the club.
hockey show? Or a
That's
hockey show.
during the club. As
Okay.
Famously, don't go to club.
Tony, want to throw me a marker or a pen or something?
Hey, give me a pen. Can you give me a pen?
Let me know when everyone has a piece of paper and a pen.
I got
We're only
paper.
doing one list, though, right? We're not doing like I have this at 6. Like that'll get way
So,
confusing.
hold
we
on.
all have to agree
This is-
on where something
this
goes.
is-
No. What?
This is the way.
This is my list.
This is the way that this works, friends. For those of you who are new to the game, blind rankings. Stugotz is going to give us 10 of some category. We play this on God Bless Football a number of times. We've done this week we did coaches on God Bless Football. If you want to check that out,
Damn, I keep
subscribe,
wanting
follow.
that.
Backup
all that
quarterbacks
stuff.
last week.
Backup quarterbacks
What?
last
Oh,
week
yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
So blind rankings works like this. We don't know who's coming up next. You put a list 1 through 10, and then when you get the thing, you have to assign them a spot 1 through 10 without knowing who is coming up next. Stugotz, you wanted to play blind rankings today. You were
Yes.
motivated to do this. I don't know why. What is the topic you wanted to do blind rankings on?
I'm doing radio and podcast host.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. Local, national.
Of all genres?
Just radio, sports,
Okay, sports.
but just radio and podcast host.
So you'll say one, and we as a group will
No,
decide.
you just you assign the
No.
number yourself.
Then
so
we're
you'll
gonna
just say I
have
have
7
6.
different rankings.
Yeah, that's fine. It's your own personal rankings.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's fun.
too long, man.
Just sign it and then we can go through
Yeah,
each
you
number.
just say the
Right.
thing and then you just say 5,
Just see
4,
what
3.
happens.
Yeah, it's great.
Right.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
all
won't be
good.
confusing at all.
No, this is
God.
going to be easy. I
Classic
promise.
rules guy, Chris Cody over here. Jeez,
Well, it could be
Louise.
so simple.
It
Then we
is,
could all
it
get
is.
into
You're the one
debate.
complicating
No,
this.
the way this is fun
Why are
is
you making it a team game?
This can be so much faster.
You say Jim Rome, and we're like, oh, that's a 2.
Well, hold on.
No, that's a
No.
9. No, that's
no,
an
you
8.
Yeah,
don't
that's fine.
understand.
Whereas
No,
if we
you
all
don't
just
get
get to
it.
do our own, it's just not interesting.
No,
it's like I'm
because-
putting him at like
Exactly right. Yeah, you say it's a 3 for me.
Nah, he's
We're not
just
doing
gonna-
it.
Because
he's
there's a
gonna-
strategy. You don't get it. There's
Wait, so you want me
Chris,
to throw out a name and then all of you discuss where you're going to slot
No,
them in?
that'll
We
take
have to
forever.
agree.
No, that'll
That'll take
That
forever.
would take
messy.
too long.
That'll
Thank
take
you,
forever.
thank you.
That's why March Sadness would take 6 days to put together
Just
the
go ahead.
rankings. Is this song? Is this looks like a 16 or a 2?
Billy,
And it's
rule
like,
with an
geez
iron
Louise.
fist. Tell us the rules, and then we start.
He
So
did.
God says a thing, and then we just say what number you
All right,
think it
Stugotz,
is.
first name.
Oh, we do. Wait,
Everyone-
wait,
12.5
wait, are we
minutes, man.
saying it out loud, or is Stugotz
No, we're
saying
not
a
gonna
name?
read our own lists.
Nobody. Wait, hold on. Stugotz says the name.
Yes.
Everybody writes down in the slot, and then do we go?
You tell me where
10
you slotted them
around
in.
the room.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Feel free to
this
play
isn't
along at home.
The SAT
Yes.
nerds. Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah, for real. By the way, tweet at us
Does everyone have a piece of paper?
with your top 10.
Paper and a pen.
Does everyone have a pen?
I don't know why Chris
Roy's
is so
getting a
annoyed.
pen.
He's not open-minded to this game whatsoever.
Because
it's a fun
have
game.
you guys ever seen this on the internet? It's always like a consensus debate.
Yeah,
You throw
well-
out something, and then everyone in the room
This
debates
is the time
where
where you
want
want
to
to
This
stick to
isn't
the
the
rules,
internet,
huh?
Jack.
I mean,
yeah.
Just saying it's cleaner. This is actually a fun bit to do if it's clean.
You
Has
delayed this.
Has everyone written
won't
down
be.
We
1
could have been
through
by
10?
number 7 already
Okay,
here.
Right.
Jeez, Louise.
Exactly. Here we go.
All
All
right.
right. Colin Cowherd.
Oh,
The Herd.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna put him at
Not
3.
like
Me
Dominicans.
too, Billy.
Whoa. Well, I already slotted him at 3, so what
I've
am
got
I
him at
supposed to do?
6.
Okay,
I
there you
like
go.
that.
Middle of
I'm
the
at
table.
That's how you
Okay.
play.
That's a safe play on the first one because you don't know who's coming next, so you put
Yes.
him right in the middle.
I
That's
only
a good
saved
move
one
by
spot
you.
underneath for him.
Wow, he had him at 9. Okay,
Roy,
Also
where'd you put
6.
him?
8.
8. Ooh,
All right.
okay.
Jeremy, where?
6.
Okay.
Wow, Roy has his
lot of
list.
disrespect on
Roy
the
has
herd.
his list 10 at the top, 1 at the bottom. I put 1 at the top and 10 at
Yeah,
the
same.
bottom.
One at the
I'm-
top, 10
I'm
at the
with you,
bottom.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I also have 10 to
Counting
1.
down, Roy?
Yeah, I'm counting down. That's what we
22.
usually do.
Interesting.
I have it too, yeah.
All right.
All right, Shannon Sharp.
This is a difficult one. Thanks
This
for
is
putting him
gonna
in
get
there.
Yeah,
with all his recent
presently this
controversy.
makes it a little tricky here.
What if you've never actually heard him?
I got him at 5.
I got him at 6.
I think I'm gonna put him at 6. I was gonna have him at 5, but I don't want the same as
I'm
Tony
putting
the
him at
entire
8.
way.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
8.
For,
Wow.
For uncles.
I respect
Wow.
him.
That's the guy that has
Okay.
sex all the time, right?
Okay. What's the next
One
name?
of them.
5 if you were wondering.
Dan Patrick. DP.
DP.
Yeah.
We all know where
little
Dan Le Batard
DP.
would put him.
I'm gonna put
4. I'm putting DP at 4.
3.
Damn, me and you were like super aligned today. I'll put him at 5, just cause.
3 for me.
Man,
7
problem is they're gonna.
Whoa, what?
Ouch.
because of Fritzy.
Oh.
That's
Fritzy doesn't have a problem with you.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
No, he's fine with you.
Yeah, I love
He
I love
likes you. He
Fritzy.
told me.
fair. He's
love
doing a
Fritzy.
thing.
I've never spoken to him, but he follows me on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's nice.
Why are you on LinkedIn?
Never know.
It's the smartest way to hire.
I've always been wanting to add you on LinkedIn, but then I think, you know what? I don't care.
I don't remember my password.
I always see you there on like the suggested.
Coworkers on LinkedIn is a dangerous game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We can be friends on LinkedIn once we're not coworkers.
Okay, good.
Right. Bill Simmons.
I'm gonna put him at
7.
4.
Everyone, be careful.
4.
Damn.
5.
I'm nervous.
I have him at 4
You should be.
because I don't know who.
You know who's coming
Should we
up.
all say at the same time what our list looks like right now for people?
No.
Yeah, I think we
At
should
the
just.
same
No,
time.
it's going to take too long.
You're just
Now I want to get crazy.
now you're making a mockery of this game.
Wild card.
This is a fun game. Look, the people in the chat are
I'd like to
loving this.
try
They're
it
just
out.
throwing out
What?
numbers here. This is great.
I think
Simmons
I'm going
at 4.
I think I'm going Simmons 2.
I
was
thinking about it.
I was gonna do 2.
I got him at 7.
I was gonna do
I think I'm
2.
gonna regret
Seven.
this.
I was gonna do
Ocho.
2, but I have it at 4 right now.
No
but I
one
was
has
feeling
slotted in
2.
number 1.
No,
right?
No.
I have
No,
1,
no,
2, 3,
no.
4 available, and 9 and 10.
I'm
We're
hoping
all
I'm on the
waiting for a
list.
certain
9,
someone.
10, 5, 4, 2.
Dangerous game Chris is
We
playing.
know where our bread is buttered.
Tops and bottoms.
Big Cat and PFT.
Together.
Yes.
Wow.
What was that about top and
Combo
bottoms?
guard, yeah.
I'm gonna put him at 2.
Wow.
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 I regret some of my decisions.
I'm going number 1.
Yeah, well, that's the reason we play the game.
Yeah,
I
this is
went
a
1.
mistake.
1.
1
9.
for those guys, huh? Wow. You didn't want to leave that open for someone?
You just don't know who's coming up
I'm
next.
going
That's
6.
the danger.
I'm going 6
Three.
for the part of my
It's the
tickets.
problem with leaving 1 is because you're always waiting because you think I might have a 1.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
then if the person doesn't come, then what do you do?
Are you and
know what I
Dan
mean?
going to be in this?
Well, we don't know.
This
It's
was a
blind
major
rankings.
mistake.
Just
Yes.
blind ram.
That's
I've
why
got
I'm
no-
7.
Three
only 'cause
reserved
I
I
the right
don't
to
read them
change.
until they come up on the sheet here. You
Yeah,
understand?
he has
right?
no
I
way
have
of
no idea
knowing.
what's coming on the
Even
sheet.
though I
right.
see a lot
What?
of markings on that paper now that I'm looking at
All right,
it.
let's go.
I'm just scratching
trust
things
you.
off. Rich Eisen.
Eisen, 1.
4.
10.
10.
I have Eisen at 1.
Going 7 for Eisen.
Yeah,
I've
Rich
made some
Eisen's at
mistakes
1.
Billy Zagat.
I got 4.
Just waiting for the next name to pop up.
It's a friend of Stu's. I have 7, 8, 9, and 10. So far, these have been some good names.
I'm gonna have
Yes.
some better blind rankings next time. I feel like I need to get used to playing the game.
It's a fun, but are you having
You'll
fun?
be better
Great,
at
I'm
it
having
next
a
time.
blast.
Yeah, my first time
It's-
it was tough. Yes.
Yeah, it's difficult. You figure out there's a strategy there, but the thing is that most times those names are put in a randomizer, so you don't really know. This
Right.
one is typed out, so I feel like there's some tomfoolery.
You watch people do stuff like this on TikTok, and you think, I never would have messed that up. I would have known
Yeah.
to wait, and yet here I am
yeah,
making mistakes.
It's not as easy as it looks. All right,
Here's a big name, guys.
big name.
Christopher Mad Dog Russo.
Thank God I left number
Should've
1
left
open.
one.
Thank God I left
Number 1 is
open.
open. And
Number
So we can't change, huh?
No,
Now
that's-
Mad
that's
Dog's
the
a
whole game,
7
Roy.
for me.
Damn.
Roy
You
goes, can
fool.
Roy goes, can we change?
I mean, I asked this like 10 minutes
we
ago.
change?
That's the whole
No, you
point.
can't change. It's locked in.
Shit.
I'm
I
going
got
2.
Doggy at 1.
I'm going Doggy at 2.
number 1.
Roy, head got stuck in the ceiling.
Dan will
Roy.
understand.
Oh,
Billy
wow.
threw his pen up and it got stuck in the ceiling. Please tell me we can get a shot of that.
It's stuck in the ceiling.
It's all right. Bring the live view in, guys.
How did
Oh,
that
it's so
happen?
good.
Roy, it's not a
Well, you
game
threw
if
your
you can
pen.
change your mind.
That's true.
See it stuck there?
Yes.
Limited amount of changes. How about that?
No.
No.
Blind
Damn.
rankings.
No, there's no
No
changing.
changes.
Talking about.
Damn it.
Look at that.
Respect the game, Roy.
Cameron's trying to
I
find it.
want to.
We're trying to find it.
Dan will be okay not being number
3
1,
names
right?
left.
Mina Kimes.
Oh my God!
Damn.
You
I
guys.
should have known.
I only have 8, 9, 10
Two.
open.
Two.
I'm going to go 8 for Mina because I only have
I'm gonna put her
8,
3 because
9,
it's the
10.
highest I have.
That pen is gonna fall like on Tuesday, right in front of
Right at
Dan,
Dan's head.
and he's gonna freak out.
Please, let's just leave it there and see when it falls.
That's just gonna fall in the middle of his show one day. He's like, ah!
Oh, that would be great.
Mina number 2.
Who
which
has
means I only
one
have
left?
9 and 10 open.
I have 9 and 10 open. I'm
I
so
have 10
screwed.
and 1.
I'm waiting on you, Stu.
I have
a huge
4 and
issue.
9.
All
I have
right.
4 and 9 left.
Okay. Jim Rome.
Romy.
Romy.
I'm going 9.
I only have 9 and 10 open. I got to go 9.
You played the game bad.
I gotta go 2.
Yeah, right. I
have
played the game great. but
gosh.
This
That was
list,
the worst one.
this list is great.
I've
Oh,
only got
wow.
1 open, and I'm going to be so pissed if the last one's Dan.
Hold on. Let's go around the room. Tony, what slot do you have open?
10 only.
Okay. Izzy.
1.
1.
10.
10. Roy.
1.
Why'd you say that like Michael Biamani talking to a
One.
road team?
It's a fair point. Chris.
1.
4.
1.
4. All right. Billy.
I only have 10 available.
Oh, okay.
What about you? Oh, you're not playing.
I'm not playing.
All right, go ahead. What's next?
Mark Hockman.
Yes! Yes!
I like this actually. That's perfect.
Thank you.
I
Number
mean,
1.
I mean.
I have him at 10.
Yeah, me too.
I was laughing the other day because
Let's do a sports update with Alejandro Solana.
this show has been around long enough to have 2 Hawks in it.
Yeah.
Well, a hawk and a hawk. I mean.
Ah, my schmuckums.
If you have two Hawks, you don't have one, Izzy.
Just the time of our lives here at this brunch.
How did Andrew Hawkins buy Hawk.com and like get everything like his like ad is at Hawk?
Did?
Yeah,
That's
I'm pretty sure his
incredible.
website
He's
is
got
like
it like that.
Hawk.com. It's crazy, right?
He had to pay a premium.
Good
right?
investment, yeah,
I mean,
good investment
Someone
on
owned that, right?
Ron McGill.
Maybe I was wrong about that. Hawk.com says this site is under construction.
Oh, maybe
Because
it's
you
under
would think
construction.
AJ Hawk probably has that, right?
No.
Right? No? Hawk.
I like my list.
Or Andre Dawson.
So should we all read what our list
Yes,
is?
No,
please,
we don't have
please.
to.
I've
All
got Hawkman as the #1 podcaster in America.
Gotcha!
My list is Big Cat PFT, Russo, Mina Kimes, Hawkman, Bill Simmons, Cowherd, Dan Patrick, Shannon Sharp, Jim Rome, Rich Eisen.
Wow. So like next on the list, 11, 12, and 13 because it was random. Biz was 11. Dan Stugotz is 12. Matthew Barry is 13. So those are the OLIs on this
Fun
situation.
game.
Wow.
You see? You didn't think you
Well,
thought that it'd be a
we-
consensus
We
thing.
did it
It was
about
fun.
as reckless as you could have. But
I don't know.
not reckless, but we just did it.
Why do you care about this game so much?
That pen is going to fall.
Okay,
on
everybody
Dan's
say where they
head.
have Mina.
3, because it was the
2.
highest spot
I
left.
only had 8 because
Two.
I
I
only had 8
left,
available.
yeah.
Well, if you had to
7.
reseed, now knowing what you know,
Hawkman stays at 1.
right?
I think I flip-flop Big Cat PFT with Mina. That's about it.
Okay.
I like my list.
I wanted some Joe Rosen there.
I like him.
I was waiting for Big Dog.
I know.
I was waiting, but then we got Mad Dog, and I was like, all right, I got
gave
to
you a
jump on that
dog.
one.
Yeah.
I don't love Eisen at 1 for me.
I don't know why you picked
Why'd you put him
Eisen
at one?
1, dude.
I was trying to just bother Stugotz.
I'm surprised how high up I have Mad Dog, and I think that's you, Stugotz. I think it's the Stu effect because I was never a Mad Dog guy. I wasn't a New Yorker coming up, but now I love the dude.
Well, what's changed? You've gotten to know him. You've heard him on the show. You realize he's a great dude.
What's changed is that he is, it's almost like he's zagging while everybody's zigging. Like he is himself this whole time while everybody else is trying to be this nuanced person. He's just still being Mad Dog and just hitting the notes, and I absolutely love it.
You guys want to hear Mad Dog trying to say names in this Knicks Pacer series?
Sure, please.
I mean, Bridges had a terrible game. Owen Obi played well and did a good job, and he played well in the game. Don't get me wrong, he played well in the game, but the Pacers have more firepower than the Knicks. That's all there is to it. You know, they got nothing out of Nebhart last night, but Naismith, bad ankle and all, makes a huge contribution. They got a lot of guys who can do that.
What do you call Obi?
Obi.
Can I hear it again, please?
Terrible game. Owen Obi played well
Owen
and did
Obi.
a good job, and he played well in the game. Don't get me wrong, he played well in the game, but the Pacers have more firepower than the Knicks. That's all there is to it. You know, they got nothing out of Nebhart last night, but Naismith, bad
It's a tough
ankle and
one.
all, makes a huge contribution. They got a lot of guys who can do that.
He's trying to figure out what sound the B and the H make together. And it's like, wait, no, never mind. That's just Nemhard.
Izzy, I know the Pacers were up 3-1, but why did so many people go to that same exact take as Doggy? Like more firepower because they were a lucky bounce away from being down 3-2 headed back to Indiana. The Knicks are just as good as the Pacers.
Well, even without the lucky bounce, just look at the close games. Like, more firepower, then you would assume they've won each game by 20 points. No, it's just the Knicks' defense hasn't been there. The Pacers look better, and because they've won more games, they says they have more firepower.
Izzy, I think it's a thing of pace, right? They look like they have more firepower because they're faster and they play faster than the Knicks do, who play a half-court offense, who want to play a lot slower. But the Pacers just running and gunning. Everybody's flying, and Halliburton's doing all this stuff. That's why it looks like they have more firepower. But when you look man-to-man, it's like, no, they're kind of even.
It's just that they have more offensive options that they can rely on. Because it's just Brunson and Cat are the reliable offensive
Bridges
options.
sometimes.
Right, but you can only go to him on
OG
occasion
sometimes.
where with the Pacers, we've seen Miles Turner has gone off in moments. We've seen Benedict Mathurin
Well, the
play
difference
well.
is
Aaron
that
E. Smith
the
is the one
Pacers
who let
run
him
their
back.
stuff.
Right.
The Pacers actually have movement, and
Right.
they find the open person. If there's an obvious mismatch, they go to the mismatch. With the Knicks, up until last night, because last night there was a lot more offense. There was a lot more plays that ended with just one final assist. But up until last night, it was always, okay, if Brunson's not going, if Cat's not going, once I'm Bridges and I get the ball, I feel like I've got to do something. Right. Now, last night they were a little bit more team-oriented, a little bit more ball movement-oriented, and it just showed up in making their firepower look a little better.
I'm excited for a big Saturday night basketball game.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that.
Why?
I don't know. You don't get fired up for much these days, man. I mean, you heard
That's
it.
true.
You want to sprint and be a grandparent already.
What was that supposed to mean?
You're missing out on life. I mean,
It is kind of lame that the two games 3 and 4, the Panthers home games here for the Stanley Cup final are on a Monday and a Thursday.
That's lame.
I don't like that.
Doesn't make any
at
sense
all.
to me.
Terrible. Right.
Yeah.
And Game 7 would be Monday, right? Knicks Pacers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't like a Game 7 on a Monday.
When would you do it?
I mean, Thursday.
What, Sunday 3:30?
You would wait
Ooh, a
from
Sunday 3:30
Sunday
is great.
3:30 Game 7 is great.
the day after.
No.
Like,
No,
That's
but I'm just
terrible.
saying if the best time to
3:30?
do
What are you
it.
talking
yeah.
about?
No, what are you talking about?
It's a great time for a nap.
3:30 is perfect.